Hey, how's it going? I'm really excited to be here and help you guys get started with your Fiverr.com business. I started just over a year ago, 14 months ago, and uh, really had no expectations of being successful at all. I thought I'd make $5 here and there and be able to pay for lunch or something here and there, but it's kind of been something that's been a roller coaster ride for me. So my name is Chad Rigg, and you can find me on Fiverr as username is Big Rig. That's BIGRYG. If you didn't come there from there, then that's who I am, and you would not know that. So I'm gonna go through a few slides here and just kind of guide the conversation. And hopefully, if you have any questions, you can send them to me through chat or send them to me later, and I will be more than happy to connect with you and help give you the guidance that you might need. All right, so share that. All right, so this is my PowerPoint presentation. All right, so building a successful business on Fiverr.com. Okay, I want to point out, like, the first thing that you need to have in your mind is that you need to provide value. Okay, any successful business is going to be solving somebody's problem. Okay, and if you've got a solution for somebody's problem, then you've earned your money. Whatever that value is, you're going to get that money back. All right. So, okay, I was having issues earlier when I test recorded that whenever I shared the screen, it wasn't going through the slides. It would just show the first slide that I had up. So I have to change the slide and then go back to sharing it. So you're going to see me come back here to my beautiful face and move around with my programs in the background. I'm sorry about that, but this isn't going to be incredibly long. I'm not here to take you from 9 o'clock p.m. to 10 o'clock p.m. This could be less than a half hour. But all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn the screen back over to you. Sorry. Right there. Okay, so what do I know anyway? Okay, and what kind of a Fiverr this is the agenda. I'm gonna take my opportunity to brag and show you some numbers, and then just kind of talk about who I am and why I think that I've become kind of a knowledge source on this topic of Fiverr.com. And then we're going to talk about what kind of a Fiverr business do you want to run. Okay, there's kind of three types of Fiverr businesses that I've identified, and we'll go over that. And then ready, fire, aim. That's just basically going to be telling you, do not waste too much time in planning and in polishing your business plan. You need to just start and get it going, and you can adjust fire as you go. Talking about the importance of a business plan and strategy. Okay, and then we're going to talk about how your reputation is everything. Okay, your feedback that you earn from these gigs is going to sell your gigs in the future. And then I'm going to leave you with my top 10 tips. Okay, coming back to me. Just want to make sure I got, okay, all good there. And it isn't going as smoothly as I'd planned, but that's okay. Okay, let me go ahead and bump that up. Okay, so this is a screenshot from your analytics view in Fiverr.com, and it was taken a month ago on the 16th of November. It basically says that I've created 778 gigs at that point. I'm just over 800 right now. November and December, especially for the service I'm offering, are just really, really dead months. Okay, so my order frequency has slowed down really painfully. But you know what? I knew that going into this, this time of year. I just knew that my my pace was going to slow down. Okay, so I've created over 700 gigs, and that was just in 1 year, and that was from October to October. If you did the math, that's a couple per day. Okay, and I'm not going to be sugarcoating it for you. Nobody's going to be earning a living on 700 times $5. That's $3,500 in the year. But what I've been able to do with that money was to be able to reinvest it into other things like this business, my other businesses, which is really the whole reason I kind of started Fiverr.com, my service on Fiverr.com, was to, I have 4 businesses, which you see in the next bullet. Not only am I full-time career military, I've also got this family, much like many of us have families, but I've also got a fitness coaching business. I own some real estate in Kentucky. I've got a job which kind of came out of my service on Fiverr. I'm kind of like the vice president of a company that is creating drum triggers. And if you don't know what that is, it's not really relevant. But there's a company that hired me through my service that I'm offering, which is crowdfunding marketing. And the guy and I kind of hit it off, and he offered me, a spot in his company. And I said, okay. So now I'm the vice president of a drum trigger company that is up and coming. And then, of course, this business itself. I started this business to supplement the expenses I was drawing from my fitness business. I could probably talk to you in person on this here. Hold on just a moment. End show. Okay, so like I said, 4 businesses, and I was at the point where the fitness coaching business was starting to invest more money into that, such doing things like owning a website and hosting and the domain name, all that kind of stuff kind of costs money. And I was spending money on personal development, which included trips and seminars and classes, much like this is a class. I'd spend, $20-$30, to hear somebody who's a lot better at me at talking, but I'd spend money to, listen to those speakers. And, that money was outpacing my revenue. Okay. So I know it's important to engage into self-development. And that's something that I want to encourage you as an entrepreneur, that self-development needs to be part of your budget. But I was developing these expenses that were outpacing my revenue, so I just started looking at this Fiverr option, and got to thinking about, well, what do I know? What am I interested in? And I already had kind of a following built up for my interest in crowdfunding, which is basically Kickstarter.com, Indiegogo, GoFundMe, cetera, et cetera. There's several options out there for a guy like you or me to go out and have an idea and put it up on this website and ask for backers to fund your project. Okay, and part of that, part of the service I provide is to go out and I, try to spread the word. Basically, it's social media marketing. So I already had kind of a following built up for that, and I wasn't doing that to, earn any money. I was just doing it. So I decided to go ahead and post that, and that's the one thing that it's been working for me. It didn't take off like a fire. Last October in 2014, I'd get 4 or 5 orders for the month, and I thought, wow, amazing. Like the first order came in a week after I posted the gig. I'm like, oh, cool, $5, and it's actually $4 in case you don't know. Fiverr takes $1 for themselves and leaves you with $4. Since then, Fiverr has tacked on a service fee on the front end, so the customer pays $5.50, and then they take $1 from you, so they're earning $1.50 just to host your gig. Okay, so I'd made $20 in October of 14, and then I made maybe another $20 each in November and December, and then January hits, and everybody has got the New Year's resolution to go out and they're going to start their project, they're going to start their business, they're going to start their crowdfunding campaign now. So now I was making, I don't know, maybe I double tripled. I could go back and look at the spreadsheets, but I might have made $100 in January, and then I made $200 and $300 the next month. By this past summer, I was making $600 a month, and I was actually overdrawn in my time and ability to service these properly. So I'd get into outsourcing. I got a partner to help me out there, and she would be the one to write the copy, if you know what that means. Basically, the one who would write what gets posted on the Facebook page. But I got to where I was averaging $600 a month, and then and now we're back here to November, December again, where I'm lucky to make $10 a day, and that's kind of my benchmark for my minimum goal for the month, $10 a day. Whether that's $5 one day and no dollars for 3 days and 15, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so that was the long version. Let's see what my next bullet point is. For businesses and a full-time career. So it's not a matter of not having time to do this. If it's something you want to do, then you have to make the time, and you have to do it on purpose to make it successful. Let me take it back to screen share. Come on. Okay. Right. There's a button I need. Okay, so I'm a senior U.S. military officer in the Army. I'm a major in the logistics field. I hold a master's degree in human resources management, which would be relevant if I worked for a company. But in this case, with Fiverr, I don't. It's just me and sometimes my assistant and my wife. I have also started a translating gig because she's a Czech citizen. So she's a native-born Czech speaker, so she translates Czech language to English and English to check any documents that people might need, and she's made several $100s there. Um, let's see. And most of all, I am really happy to share what I've learned, so that you can have that success um, that I've earned, and the lessons that I've learned, I want to share to you. All right, so this is a screen capture from your analytics page. You'll see that on the left here, I've earned for that month, which was halfway through November, I had earned $244 so far. Up to that point, I had created 778 orders. The average selling price is $8. You're probably saying, well, how can that be if everything's $5? Once you reach, I think it's a level 2 seller, and that can actually happen, within 2 months. Once you reach level 2 seller, you have the option to create more gigs. So not just the one service, but you can also add gig add-ons to each service. I think it's up to 5 for $5 each. And you can also do custom orders for up to $10,000 per job. Anybody knows how to, do some of those jobs, let me know. Anyway, so by the time that I've offered my extra gigs, they're not just paying me $5, they're paying me $15, they're paying me $20 or $30. I've got one in the queue for $20 right now. And then over on the right here, this is your most important thing that you want to maintain, your rating. I've got a 98% rating. It just means that some of my customers weren't totally happy, and a lot of that has to do with their expectations. Some of these guys come in, give you $5, and expect a return on investment of like 2,000%. And that's just not going to happen. Maybe they'll get their money back in my particular case, and maybe they'll double it. But in a lot of cases, unfortunately, they don't reach that audience, because I do what I can do. I can show people, but I can't guarantee you that what their project is going to appeal to the audience. All right, so down here in the bottom left shows that of the 778 orders, I had received 402 reviews. 3 of those were negative, and 339 were unrated. Okay, and then it shows that I've had 399 positive reviews. If you do the math, 402 minus the 3 negative reviews, that's 399. It just happens to be equal to the not rated orders. Okay, and then over on the right, you get these 2 progress bars that say 100% of completeness. If you don't have like your profile complete, or your picture uploaded, or your PayPal information, then you won't have a full 100%. Then your response time, that's another thing you want to maintain. Lower the better, and I think that that's basically when somebody sends you a gig or a question, how long does it take you on average to respond to it? Okay, and I think Fiverr pays attention to it on each account, because that's a credit to you as a seller and a credit to them as a marketplace. So you really want to maintain that, and I think if you keep that low, then Fiverr will be more likely to feature you, and that would be something that would be very helpful to your cause. All right, so that was that slide. Okay. Next thing I want to talk about is what kind of a Fiverr seller do you want to be? Okay, this is kind of something that you need to go into beforehand, already knowing. Um, this doesn't mean you will always be that. You can always evolve one way or the other. First, on the left, you're just a hobbyist. Are you somebody who um, has a talent for making music or art, like this guy over here, or writes books? And you just like doing it. You're going to be doing it anyway, whether you get paid or not. So why not um, offer it as a service, for a fee? And um, and if you make money, great. If not, you're still going to do it. The next type of a business guy, a business runner, is the financer. A lot of people might start a Fiverr gig to save up and pay for a cruise or a Disney World vacation, a trip to Europe, or a nice car. If you are providing a service and you can take that money and put it in that piggy bank, and then when it's time to go make that big purchase, you've got that little bit of money that's all saved up from your efforts. Okay, and then finally the grower. That's kind of something. I kind of started as a financer, but I've really turned into the grower because I've seen a lot of potential that Fiverr is providing to people like myself and people probably like you. Um, there's just so much opportunity, and there's really no limit on what you can do, and there's always somebody who's looking for what you can do, whether that's um, bookkeeping or designing a spreadsheet or doing voiceover acting, uh, caricatures. There's just so many different things. If you don't know what your service you're going to offer yet is, then just do some searching, do some surfing on Fiverr.com and see what other people are doing. Taking my drink. Okay. And back to me. Okay. Sorry, this glitch or whatever is going on with the computer, where I can't, slide through a slideshow without stopping the screen share is really messing up the flow, and I'm sorry if that's bothering you. Okay, so the next topic is ready, fire, aim. Okay, and that's going to be just about getting started. Go ahead and share that screen. Ready, fire, aim. That means just what it says. It's not ready, aim, fire like you're probably used to hearing. The best way to start is by starting. Okay, you'll only regret not starting sooner. And then you learn to swim in the deep end. These are all kind of cliche sayings that I've come up with to match the scenario. And then most people get stuck at ignition because they're too focused on perfection. Ready, fire, aim. Back to me. All right, so I mean, I could spend a year coming up with a plan, a strategy, and I could put it on paper, and I could bind it up real nice and have Office Depot, bind it up and print it on glossy paper. But that whole time was wasted in planning and preparation rather than learning by doing. Start your business, and then you can fine tune it on the way. And I guarantee you will only move forward. You can't despair at any failures because they're going to happen, and you want them to happen because that's where you're going to learn. That's where you're going to learn to make your improvements and your adjustments. And the whole time you're building a client base, and you're building your reputation through feedback and ratings. And that's one thing that you need to maintain: feedback and ratings. All right. Business plan and strategy. Back to screen share. Come on. Okay. Business plan. Every business needs a plan, but like I said in the previous slide, don't overkill it right away. You can refine it as you learn your lessons, and you want to know where your minimum viable options are. Okay, what does that mean? Where are you breaking even? Where are you making your profits? At what point are you making profits? And I would even go so far as to say that you want to start your business providing your service at a loss, because that means you're going to be over delivering, which we'll talk about in a minute, and you will be building that satisfied base of customers. You can always, refine what you offer as you get a stronger base. So, for example, you offer a service. Well, let's just say that you offer a service that's a marketing service, and you take that whole $5, the whole $4 that you're going to earn from that gig, and you put that $4 into, let's say you put $3 into paid advertising, and you only get to keep $1. Okay, probably not worth your time, but you know what? In the long run, if you've got that satisfied customer, more satisfaction, then they're going to be building up your feedback and your ratings. Okay, and this whole time you are creating a base of followers. Okay, this guy, for example, and anybody who responded to those ads. Okay, you're building your base of support. Okay, and that's just an example in my field. And then as you move on, you can dial that back, and you can start taking more profit and less expense. Okay, and you can start charging more for that service. Okay. Study your competition and set yourself apart. Okay, you need to look at the other people who are providing the same service that you're doing. Okay, what are they doing that's successful? What are they doing that you're not doing that looks like it could be working? You need to adopt what they're doing, and then if you have ideas on how to improve on what they're doing, then by all means, take it and own it. And if they are charging that set price for the set service, then charge that price and offer additional service, because you're in a competition. Okay, you want their customer. So what are you going to do to attract their customer? It might mean you're going to work harder than that guy, but it's all the balance that you want to make. All right, marketing. Okay, Fiverr has a fair amount of people that are surfing their jobs. Okay, and a lot of those people will land on your project or on your gig. Okay, so you want to make your gig front page look good. We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, you need to get out into social media. You need to talk to your friends about who are they, or who has need of your service that's in their network, right? Okay, revenues, business, expenses, and reinvestment. What are you going to do? Well, first of all, you have to know the difference between revenues and profit. Okay, revenues is is everything that you're taking in. Okay, so for a $5 gig, you're taking in $4 because Fiverr takes their $1. But how much did you spend to provide that service? Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just time, and that's okay. And in some cases, I have gigs that cost me $1 um, off the revenue, so that is a $3 profit. Okay, and then business expenses. That's what I'm talking about there. You can spend money in advertising. On Facebook, you can take out a paid ad to expand your reach to people who are outside of your organic network. It's all stuff that you can be doing to further your own business at a cost, but is that going to earn you more money? So it's the balance there you got to maintain too. Reinvestment. Okay, what does that mean? Reinvestment means taking the money that you've earned and putting it into maybe you need a computer to better service your Fiverr gig. Okay, so you're going to go out and you're going to spend $700 of that money that you just earned into a computer, and now you've reinvested. And guess what? That's a tax write-off. If you're doing this right, you will be filing a 1099 at the end of the year. All right, take my drink of water. Okay. Okay, so we're getting through this. We're about halfway done, I think. But I hope that so far this has been worthwhile, even though I'm kind of fiddling around with my computer. This is my first time, and I've got some kinks to work out, obviously. But like I said, this is a new gig that I started, and ready, fire, aim. Right. This is ready and fire, and next time, I'll be aiming. Tightening up my shot group, if you will. But you'll also notice that I offered a gig on Fiverr.com, a gig add-on, which gives you access to all my future broadcasts. Okay, the idea is that I'm going to be improving on my style, technique, and my skill with the whole webcam and webinar deal, and get more comfortable talking in front of the camera, because I'm not comfortable doing this. I'll tell you that right now. So I hope that I'm keeping your attention and you're taking some notes, because I do believe that what I have to say is valuable. Okay, next slide is about what does your store look like? All right. Back to screen share. All right, so what does your store look like? Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect at the start. Okay, remember what I said? Ready, fire, aim. Start your gig. There's a button on Fiverr. Actually, I'll take you there now. Actually, end show. Go back to screen share. Not that one. Entire screen. Wow. That. Okay, that's ridiculous. How about I stop? And yeah, I am learning lessons right now. Okay, try this again. No, I don't know what I'm doing apparently. Okay, I'm going to try one more option here. And I just want to share my screen. All right. Well, forget that. I was going to show you my Fiverr page. Anyway, so what was I saying? Ready, fire, aim. Just get your gig started. It doesn't have to have, you know, the full description. It doesn't have to have, it can just be garbled junk, from the keyboard. It's random letters from the keyboard. Just start your gig, and then you can refine it. Picture. It's gonna make people pass you by or click on you. Okay, so you want to do something to make yourself stand out. This person right here says, "I will be your long lost daughter you never knew you had." Okay, that's a real gig, apparently, and this is a shot from a video. She could probably, look, choose a different capture point, but maybe this is what she's going for. This guy here, "I will send your message to space," and he basically looked kind of ridiculous there, but you know what? He's probably made a few dollars just based off the look. Okay, and then there's me right here. This is the gig front screen that you clicked on. It's standing out. It's me with the background removed and replaced with a bright and vibrant color. It's got a smiling. I'd like to call it an inviting face, but you might have a different opinion. Then the words, are not standard type, and they kind of go behind me, but you can still read it. Different color, and you have to put exclusively on Fiverr. Whenever you make a video or a picture, Fiverr wants you to, stake their claim right there. So yeah, do something to stand out. Don't just take a selfie from your phone. And then you could actually have somebody on Fiverr, do this for you. It doesn't have to be perfect. Refine your gig, just like we talked about. Make your changes as you go. And I would even say that you should make changes daily or weekly, even if it's just a little bit of wording, because I think that shows Fiverr that you are alive, and they're more likely to, keep you relevant. You have to choose if you want a video or a photo. You can have multiple photos, but do you want a video explaining what you're offering? Like this lady, she's got the play button there. I don't. I do have. Okay, I do have a video now for this gig that I'm offering. But yeah, so that's totally up to you. I've been very successful with just a photo. Detailed description with the bottom line up front. When you're giving your description on what you'll offer, make sure that you are quickly to the point. Don't go through the entire process and then say what you're going to offer. And then don't write in a big fat paragraph. Write it bulletized. People on a computer screen read top to bottom, not left to right like a book. And then gig add-ons, something that you'll have access to once you reach that certain level. But are you offering add-ons? Do you have ideas? Be thinking about it. All right, stopping the sharing. Now, okay, so I don't know what you thought about that, but it's always something. You always need to be thinking about how to improve, how to adjust your business. Okay. Movement creates motion. Motion creates attention. Okay, so kind of remember that. All right, going back to the show. All right, your reputation is everything. So yeah, your reputation is everything in this business, and I'd say in any business, it's everything. And this was my number one advice to anybody that's going to start a Fiverr business, is that you have to be going for that 5-star rating. Okay, this is a screenshot from a typical customer to a gig. There's 3 categories: communication with the seller, the service as described, and would you buy again or recommend. Okay, you want to get 5 stars from every one of those categories. You know, people oftentimes, they'll go to their rating and just do 5 stars down the line and call it good. But then you'll probably get other people that say, well, he talked to me like 3 times. I guess that's a 4-star. Service as described. Yeah, I guess so. 5. Would buy again or recommend? Yeah, 3 stars. And that's the kind of rating that can really kill you. It's not 100%, and it's not. It's enough to take a chunk out of your overall rating. And then they've got the opportunity to go in and write a comment. Okay, and that's really where people will get the best impression. Will they say thanks and call it good, or will they say, man, this was the best gig I've seen on Fiverr, yet? And I would totally recommend that. So that's what you want to go for. Your business will sink or sail based on your buyer feedback. Your rating starts when the buyer clicks order. And I'll talk about that in a minute. Your communication is key. You want to over deliver, and you want to be very, you want to be very methodical when handling your customer. Okay. Next slide, we're going to talk about your customer. Okay, your customer is like a little egg, and you don't want to drop them. Okay, so customer onboarding. I said before that your rating starts when your customer hits order. So put yourself in your customer's shoes. What are they experiencing? A lot of new customers are going to come to Fiverr, and they're going to see all these options, and they picked you. And you know what? They're scared. Are they about to lose their money? Are they... Anyway, they're scared of losing their $5, their precious $5. So you need to reassure them right away. So communicate early. Let them know right then and there what they can expect. Are you backlogged right now? Will you be getting in touch with them in 2 days? Do you require this information or that information? You need to really, start that relationship right then and there. And you want to be the first to contact them. Provide updates. Okay. Hey, just started your order. Just want to make sure that, this is spelled right. Or, hey, I'll be done in the next, 3 hours. So, be ready. Then you want to be excited, and you want to get them excited. Okay. And they're going to rate you accordingly. How interested are they, and how interested can you keep them, and how much satisfaction can you get them for their money? All right. Be grateful. You want to thank them, profusely, if that's a word. um, Thank them for their order. They didn't have to pick you, but they did. So be grateful for that. And then deliver accordingly. Like, you know, show them that you are thankful for their business through the product you provide. Okay, then what's next? Can you provide additional services? Can you form some sort of a working relationship with them that will extend outside of Fiverr? Can you go for, the long sell, basically? Can you sell them on any of your additional orders? Okay. And then, is there another service out there on Fiverr that you could recommend? Okay. And this gets into forming partnerships with other Fiverr creators like yourself. Can you make recommendations to similar gigs or complementary gigs? And then can those other people do the same for you? So, that's just a matter of communicating and forming relationships. All right, I'm back to change a slide. Okay, just about finished. Okay, get organized. You want to be organized from the start, and you want to plan as if you're going to be overwhelmed. Okay, you're probably not going to be overwhelmed, but be prepared for it. Um, Forgetting a job is unforgivable. And then you want to develop standards, and this will save a lot of time. And let's see, heard the door just slam. I'm hoping somebody doesn't walk in on me and interrupt me, but that in itself interrupted me. Let's see. So let's see if I can share with you my spreadsheet. About getting organized right here. Okay, this is my spreadsheet. You see, I'm down to line 783, and these are each orders. Then over here, there's a URL pertaining to the job that they're hired me for. I've got different kinds of orders. I got the crowdfunding gig. I've got a review gig. I've got a translation gig here. Here's a social media engagement gig. And these are the usernames, and these are kind of brief descriptions of what they're about. And then over here, I got a calendar. There we go. I've got a calendar with kind of the timeline of when certain things are due, because sometimes some of these jobs, they hire me and it's a month process, even though it's like a 4-day delivery. I'm promising that I will be posting for them throughout the duration of their campaign. So you see this stuff's going all the way out into 2016. So I had to get organized that way to kind of tell me when to take actions. So yeah, that's how that works. And then I've got some standard responses to questions that I just copy and paste, so I don't have to retype them every time. This saves a lot of time. There might be some instances where I get in and change a few words around. But these are standard responses. Like this one here, as soon as somebody orders one of my gigs, I'll copy and paste it and send it directly to them. And I really don't have any changes to make. That saves me, 3 minutes right there. And, time is money, and you want to stay above that minimum wage line. I'll tell you that I think for the the $5,000 that I made in the past year, I'm probably getting about $20 to $30 an hour for that. So though I'm not making money at it, or though I'm not making a living at it, I'm making a pretty good wage. Okay. Okay. So you see what I'm talking about with developing standards. I guess I'll show you one other thing that I do as far as standards, and that's with the delivery. If you have a job that is, or if you have a gig that provides, the deliverable is an action that you've taken, and when it's time to complete that order, you just type in that I did this and that. That person is going to want to see something more concrete. And that's the case with the service I provide. I say that I posted here and here, and this is where I posted. But instead, I will go to, I've got these templates. Where is this? I need to go to share screen again. Yep, right here. Okay, so you see over here, I've got all these different scenarios for delivery. These are all my deliverable products, yes. Like this one. Okay. These words aren't going to change because it's just like the configuration of gig add-ons that you ordered. I contributed to your campaign. I posted your campaign to my page. Then I take a screenshot of my post and include it right here. And then I hit File, Save as a PDF, and I upload the PDF to the delivery, and that's it. I talk about this is the link to where it's posted, and then I say make sure you go there, like the page. Say within a week I'll post further interest in your project on my page halfway through, and in the last 72 to 12 hours I will post a call to action from my network. Thanks and good luck. There's that gratitude, and feedback is greatly appreciated. It's okay to remind them that you are in it for the feedback. So it's all in the ask. Don't be afraid to ask. Okay. And I guess I'll go ahead and go to the next. Stop sharing. Okay. 2 more slides, and this next slide is something you actually should have had access to download when I delivered your order. I gave you a link. Where is this? Here. So I gave you the link to register for the webinar, and then as part of that, you got the link to download this slide. And this is my top 10 success tips. And you'll notice that the top 10 or the top tip that I always keep talking about is you working for your rating is not on here. That's something you should have written down. So these are a bonus top 10. Some of these we've gone over already. 1, just start. Just stop planning and get started. Do your minimum plan. Decide what you're going to offer, for example. And then put a date on the wall. You know what? That's like a key component. Say I'm going to start my campaign or my Fiverr gig on January 1st. Okay, why not January 1st? Okay, and that's a mark that goes on your calendar. So between now and January 1st, you have got 2 weeks to plan. Okay, you've got 2 weeks to get the pictures you need for your gig, and then your marketing plan. But you know what? If you're not ready on January 1st, too bad. hit start on January 1st. Okay. And until you get your first order, then you've got more time to plan. Always be refining. Okay. Until you get an order, until you get so many orders that you can't keep up, you know, no, even then you're still going to be planning, because if you can't keep up, then you got to go out and you got to find somebody who's going to work for you. Okay. You're going to take a hit in the revenue department, but you know what? You can increase your capacity to do more work, and you can increase your capacity to think of more growth, to grow more. All right. Adopt a servant mentality. Okay. That means that they've given you money. You now work for that person, and you want that person to be satisfied. That's your first priority, and you need to really, and that goes into over delivering. Okay. You promise this in your service, but you actually promise, but you actually are going to provide, this and that. Okay. And that's standard. Okay. You offer this, but you're providing this, that, and those. And that's just standard. Like me, I promise so many posts on Facebook, but when I deliver, I say, oh yeah, and here's a post on Pinterest, and I've also shared it here and there. Uh, so that's part of the over delivery. Invest in your reputation. So what do you think that means? Investing in your reputation. Yeah, remember what I told you about at the beginning of your career, as you will. You want to build that reputation solid from the base, and that means not taking any profit if you have to. Okay, you can change that as you go. Evolve your business. You're always making changes. If you're not there at the bottom, if you're not making changes, you're not growing. So always make changes. It lets everybody know that you're alive. Communicate. Communicate early, communicate often. We already talked about that. Create a freemium. Okay, everybody likes something for free. I've developed this year, this list is free. It's something you get automatically. I've created a basic guide to successful crowdfunding. That's part of the over delivery. Okay, but people get it for free. And then capture your client's contact information and develop your list. Okay, Fiverr gets real uneasy about you capturing people's info and communicating with your customers off their network. Okay, because what that means to them is that you're taking their business offline and cutting them out. But what you're doing is you're building your base of support, and you need to look at things like services like MailChimp, which allow you to build your email list so that you can create newsletters and contact everybody at one time, and let people know all at once that you have a new change to your service, or you're offering a new service, and then you can categorize that list into different types of interests. Study your competition. And then we already talked about that. And then make your business scalable, outsourceable, and non-seasonable. Okay. So what does that mean? Scalable. I can make it bigger, or I can draw it back and still maintain profit. Outsourceable. That's part of the scalability. So if I am doing a task associated with my service, is that task something that somebody else could possibly do for $1? Is it going to cost you some profit? Then yes, it is. But like I said earlier, it's going to free you up to create more growth. Outsourceable and non-seasonal. Seasonal. I already let on that I'm in a seasonal service here with crowdfunding. The problem with my service and for so many other services is that stop sharing. Is that the holidays come through. People are spending money to go to Thanksgiving, and they're focused on what their family is doing, and then Christmas comes around, and Christmas presents and snow tires and higher heating bills and all that fun stuff drinks up people's disposable income and time. Okay, so I would expect in general that November and December are going to be horrible months for business in the services industry. So be prepared for that, and that's why scalable is important. But you are starting a Fiverr business at the right time. Start it in January, and you'll catch all these people getting ready to make New Year's resolutions, take these big steps for 2016, and hopefully you can be there to capitalize on that. Okay, one last slide. Thanks for bearing with me. Okay, so what now? It's on you. Start your business, whether it's profitable or not. Okay, we talked about building that base of reputation. So that's what your goal is, profitable or not. It's going to take some sacrifice, and you're going to be working for basically nothing. But get it started, and then you can improve your service to the minimum viable amount. Okay, start seeing where you can increase profits and reduce time, because time is money. Okay, and that is everything I've prepared myself to say. I want to go ahead and invite you to connect with me. You've got coachbigrig.com down at the bottom in my webpage, and you've got ways to connect with me on Facebook there. That's the best way to get in touch with me. I'm always on Facebook. I'm always accessible. If you've got questions specifically about your business or about any other business, let me know. Or if you don't yet have any ideas for a business to start, it's something we can brainstorm together. I've also got other opportunities in the fitness side, and I would love to make a new contact, especially if you're growth-minded like me. Okay, I'm going to get this forwarded out to you, and I really hope you found it worthwhile. And of course, let me know in my feedback. And in the month of December, nothing less than 5 stars is acceptable. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say thanks and good night.